worked with an agent that forgot there are two parties to every transaction. On my last deal, that's exactly what happened. Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm a Brevard County, Florida realtor, and this is a story of a listing agent that got a little bit of an attitude when my buyers couldn't change the closing date. 2.5 weeks into this transaction, we had just gotten through the inspection period, and I get this text from the agent saying, hey, seller needs to change the date of the closing from Thursday to Monday. So not a huge change by any means, and for good reason. He was an investor that was trying to save money on taxes and just basically told me, hey, I'm going to send the addendum over. Didn't ask if my buyers were okay with it, but that's my job. So I let her know, hey, let me just check to make sure buyers are okay with this change. As it turned out, my buyers were not okay with the change. They were coming down from Missouri. They had already booked their flights. And the wife, she actually couldn't take off that week that they were proposing because she works in accounting, and her employer did not allow her to take off a week that fell on the first of the month, with which that date actually did. So I let the agent know, buyers live in Missouri, they've already made travel arrangements, employment arrangements to take off work, and changing the closing date was going to be, oh, my chair's in the way, difficult for them, is what I said. Since I am a solutions-driven agent, this was not the end of the conversation for me. I was just letting her know it was going to be difficult for them. I had a few ideas. I was going to reach out to the lender, ask if the wife could sign early, maybe we could do a pre-occupancy agreement. I had some ideas I was going to run by the agent. But then I received this text message in response to me telling her it was going to be difficult for the buyers. Wow, just amazing. I don't know about you, but I took that as a big middle finger to both me and my buyers. So I did actually end up reaching out to the lender and the title company, asking if my buyer's wife could sign the paperwork ahead of time. She actually wasn't going to be on the loan. She was just signing the deed for spousal purposes. And the answer to me was no from the lender and the title company. So long story short, we could not get them to sign early and we could not change the closing date. But at the end of the day, the closing date should have been negotiated up front if the seller needed a few days later, and my buyers were not obligated to change the closing date. So agents, make sure that you work that date out ahead of time because it's not always going to be possible to change that date.